Erich has a new girlfriend. Is Chris Harrison coming back to host The Bachelor? And Zach admits what producers will not let him do. Hi guys, it's Kayla Galloway. Welcome back to Share News. Before we dive into the Bachelor headlines, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit on that little bell for notifications. You could be the very first to see all of our new videos. I am joined here with Kayla Thompson. How are you doing? Kayla's are taking over and I love it.
I love it. I'm so excited. I haven't seen you all week, KG. I missed you. There's been a lot going on kind of in Bachelor Nation, but no, it's been a good week as well with Valentine's Day and, love in the air. So I'm feeling cute in my little pink. I'm ready to discuss everything.
I love it. I was actually going to say that color looks absolutely amazing on you. And speaking of Valentine's Day, Erich hard launched his new girlfriend. He posted a cute little Polaroid picture. And Kayla, you told me something about this earlier. Fill me in. Who is she?
Yeah. Listen, Erich is not just dating any influencer. Okay, guys? This girl is an ex-girlfriend of the Leonardo DiCaprio. So it's a pretty big flex, in my opinion.
How is this happening? He keeps pulling these tens.
Literally.
One thing I wanted to mention, a lot of online talk is Erich is kind of getting some backlash of is it too soon? But we were all too well to be rooting for Gabby and Vinny, Gabby and A, B, and C. What do you think the difference is there?
Yeah, I mean, I think, of course, we're going to be wanting to root for Gabby because she was Bachelorette and she went through a lot from Clayton's season and even in her own season, her and Rachel were kind of still, it was a rough ride for both of them. And then for her and Erich to not work out, I mean, in my opinion, I kind of felt like she always wanted Jason, but that's just me. So I don't know. From that being said as well, I wasn't super surprised that her and Erich didn't really last. But I don't know, for it to be 3 months later, I was like, oh, wow, for him to post about being with someone else says that maybe he met her probably right after. I don't know. It's a lot. It's cutting it pretty close, but I don't know. These reality stars, they're busy.
Totally. Yeah, I've never really been an Erich fan. The blackface was enough for me, but his girlfriend, other than being Leonardo DiCaprio's ex-girlfriend, she has 1 million followers on Instagram. She is a clinical psychologist grad student. So Erich's choosing pretty well.
Yeah, man, he's batting 100 with these girls that he keeps pulling. I'm like, okay, Erich, I see you. I mean, he's tall, he's handsome. I know he's aspiring to be a model. So I guess, he's got a bright future if it's with these ladies.
Yes, soon the whole world will get mullets just because of him, because they want Leonardo DiCaprio's ex-girlfriend.
Oh, I don't know about that, KG.
Right? Next, we have a little bit of whiplash because Radar Online came out with a story saying that they're thinking of replacing Jesse Palmer with Chris Harrison because of the dwindling ratings. And then very quickly, ABC kind of stepped back and denied all claims that they want to bring Chris Harrison back, and they have zero plans. Kayla, I know you have so many thoughts on this. Let's chat.
Oh, I do. I do. Whole Chris Harrison. Yeah, no, I kind of knew this was probably not true at all. I think, first of all, the host, in my opinion, the host of The Bachelor doesn't have a whole lot to do with what makes the show good or not. Now, can it affect it and bring it down sometimes? Yeah, sometimes Jesse's a little corny. He pulls you out of it. But Chris was very corny as well. I don't think that he made the show good or bad. That's my opinion. But yeah, I think honestly, we were talking earlier about, we talk about Perfect Match, the new Netflix show, and it's such a great concept and there's a lot of things going on and there's tons of reality shows that are doing really well, that I think The Bachelor's problem is that it falls behind a little bit in what, the newness. It needs to kind of brush up some things. While I love going back to their roots, I think that honestly is working. There's still some other things that they could probably take notes on.
Yeah, I think they're all super fixated. Jesse Palmer, when he did the press tours, it's going back to the OG, it's going back. And even with this dwindling ratings, maybe we should bring Chris Harrison back. Just that conversation. I think they really just need to focus less on the past and more of the future and the
Mhm.
future of reality television of how we watch it in 2023. So, I mean, I'm really
Totally
enjoying the
agree.
season. I think you are too, Kayla, but I still think
Yeah,
that Bachelor could take some notes to shows like The Perfect Match.
totally agree. But Zach is doing a good job. So, they're doing the best they can. I could see they're trying to, give it a fresh kind of clean slate. But yeah, I don't think Chris would make the show any better, honestly. Let's just leave Chris where he's at.
Same. Agreed. And speaking of Zach Shawcross sat down with Entertainment Weekly and admitted that producers do not let him interject when the girls have a little "Can I steal you away" for a moment on during one-on-one time. And I wasn't necessarily surprised. Kayla, were you?
I actually was surprised. From my memory,
Really?
I feel like there was times, yeah, I feel like there were times when leads would say like, "Oh, can you just give us 2 more minutes?" Maybe I'm mixing that up with the contestant saying that, but I don't know. I think the other thing that surprised me about that was just that Zach has been so in control of his own decisions and things that are happening on his own season that something like a producer saying, "Hey, don't interject," when they're going back and forth is just odd to me. I feel like if Zach wanted to, he should have the right to say, "No, like we're in a conversation." Like when him and Bailey were talking in week 3, it was like that was a pretty intense conversation for someone to just interrupt and him just let it happen. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just that's weird to me. What do you think?
I couldn't agree more. Like, specifically, I gave Zach so much crap for not continuing his conversation with Bailey and to know that,
Right,
like, oh,
right.
sorry, Zach, it wasn't you. And you did mention,
Yeah.
like, past bachelors, you remember them saying something. It's possible they're just breaking the
Mhm.
rules. I mean, not
Mm,
all bachelor leads are going to follow the producers, like every single time. And it does also make me
totally.
think of just the most recent Anastasia versus Kylie moment, and I was yelling at my
Mhm.
screen and I was like, Zach, like, interject, say something. And really looking back
Right.
at that moment, like, do you think what could have Zach said? How could that been different?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I think well, in the initial moment with Anastasia and Kylie, I kind of understood Zach not interjecting at first because there was some tension there. But I think to me, that's where I'm like the lead should have the final decision. It's his season, it's his time. So they can go back and forth for 2 seconds, and then Zach can at towards the end be like, okay, listen, Kylie, just give me 1 more minute with Anastasia. Let me wrap up with her. You stay over there. I'll come sit with you on the hammock or whatever. You know what I mean? I think that
Mhm.
would be like a natural way, if that makes sense, for it to happen. Um, yeah. What do you think?
Yes, totally agree. He actually said on the interview, quote, I have to keep my mouth shut and let it happen. But he continues to say that his face kind of shows it all. So I'll be watching the rest of the season, and just by his face, I'll be like, oh, he wants to say something, or oh, he's just gonna let this be. So I'm gonna be watching Eagle
Mm.
Eyes, Zach. So I really enjoyed that interview. I recommend watching the whole thing. There are some fun moments. And before we
Mm.
end this, I mean, we have a new Bachelor episode every Monday, and this next week looks a little cray. We've got like a possible COVID outbreak. Kayla, let me know all your thoughts when you watch that sneak peek, because I know that you are the best at catching clues on those little teasers.
Oh yeah, you know me, I'm the preview queen over here. But yeah, I caught that little clip of the first preview where Zach is kind of being recorded on what looks like a laptop camera or something, which my brain went right to COVID. Somebody got COVID, maybe it's Zach. So I'm interested to see how they navigate that with it being the lead. I know, last season Logan got COVID and he had to just straight leave the show. But they can't really do that if it's Zach. So I don't know when it happens. KG, are you aware of like maybe when he gets COVID? Like, is it at the top of the week or kind of towards the end?
Well,
Maybe.
from the teaser, we do see Gabby and Zach on a one-on-one, but we see no other
Right.
dates. And so I'm assuming at
Okay.
sometime after that is when something happens, maybe potentially someone gets COVID. But one thing I did notice, which
Mm.
I don't know if you guys haven't watched this before, and some of my opinions, like Gabby is my girl. She's my absolute favorite of the season. Her little shellfish commentary, like I'm obsessed with her. And One thing I noticed is when all the girls are reacting to this terrible news, some of the wider shots, like I don't see Gabby anywhere, and it has me shook. Like I am actually so scared that she could potentially go home. You think that's even a possibility?
Oh no. Well, okay, here we go. Let me help you out. I got you. I got you. Preview queen over here. There's
Thank
definitely
you.
way more footage of Gabby that I remember from the huge season trailer. So there's I know we see them in a specific one-on-one for this week, but there's other footage of her that I think is past. I'm pretty positive is past this week. They're on a boat together. It's a completely different thing than London. So I honestly think Gabby is fine. I think what's happening is her and Zach probably are quarantined, and Zach just can't go on the group date and the second one-on-one date for this week. So him and Gabby are just I don't know, not on gonna be in the rest of the episode is my guess. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Right?
I
Yeah.
guess how
I'm,
it
yeah. My question is, how are they going to fill 2 hours when we only see one, like in real person life, one-on-one date? And are they going to do the
so
rest of the
true.
dates on Zoom? Like, what's happening, Kayla?
I know. They're gonna have to get creative because, I mean, they don't want to waste a week of filming. You know what I mean? I mean, like they have a certain amount of time to film the show, to pay the crew and do all of it. So they're gonna have to figure it out some way somehow. I think they can definitely get the group of girls together, the rest of the group of girls together. But yeah, maybe they'll have to Zoom FaceTime Zach in and just have some just FaceTime dates. I don't know. They're gonna have to figure it
It's
out
going
some
to be
way. It's gonna be
weird.
interesting. Yeah,
Yeah, it takes me
for
back
sure.
to the pandemic when we do like game nights with friends over Zoom. It's kind of giving
Yeah,
me
a
flashbacks a little bit.
little bit triggered. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Well, guys, that is all of the Bachelor news for this week. Be sure to comment below. Let us know what you think about all of the juiciest stories of the week. And also be sure to like, subscribe, share, and hit that little bell for notifications to be the very first ones to see our videos, Bachelor, reality TV, celebrity news. Again, I am Kayla Galloway here with Kayla Thompson, and you can see our social handles if you'd like to follow us right here on the screen. And we'll see you next time. I can't wait. See ya.